So my biggest influence was someone called Bill Mollington, and he was one of the inventors of what's called permaculture, which is a system of using ecology and inspiration from the natural world to design human systems and human settlements and farming. And that inspired me and influenced me in two ways. One was kind of highlighting the problems that we have in the world. So sort of our over-reliance on fossil fuels, the unsustainability of our agriculture and the negative effect that we're having on the environment and on nature. So those problems really struck me, and I was 18 years old when I first came across it. So the problems, but then also the solutions. So this idea that we can create human societies that can work with nature and that can improve the natural world around us, whilst also having really good, healthy, happy communities, rather than the system that we have at the moment, which is very much based on destroying nature and extracting from it and giving us material prosperity, but material prosperity that can't last long term. So as I say, I came across that when I was about 18 years old, and it was like a light bulb moment for me. So something really clicked, and that kind of sent me on my journey that I've been on ever since, to now standing here for election for the Green Party. So on my bucket list, I'd love to go scuba diving again. I went scuba diving in Egypt when I was 16 years old and just had an amazing time, and just to see the world in a completely different way. The corals and all the fish, and just, I've never seen so many different colours and species and things just in one place before, and kind of looking down over the edge of an underwater cliff, and just it being kind of pure darkness beyond there. Just a completely different scale to anything I've seen before. So yeah, I really want to do that again. I think the difficulty is kind of getting to those kinds of places. You know, the Great Barrier Reef in Australia would be a great one, but sort of all that flying and things, it's you know, it'd be difficult to get to those kind of places. I think my big lesson for life is a bit of a flip on sort of living every day as it comes, because you never know when it's going to be your last. Mine is kind of a longer term view, looking at it sort of from the end, looking backwards. Like when it is my time, I want to be able to look back and know that I've lived a good life, that I've achieved things that I set out to achieve, and that I've done good in the world, and I've improved the world with my life, ultimately, so that I can sort of feel ready to move on. You know, no one knows what is that next stage beyond death, but just to be there in that final moment and just feel content and complete, that is my big life lesson. So I think my best quality is my desire and passion to make the world a better place. I've dedicated my life to that, to create sort of a greener world and a fairer world, and that's inspired me to do things like train to be a lawyer, and it's informed different career decisions I've made, and the way that I really focus myself in life. My worst quality is spending a lot of money on hobbies, and then not getting very far with the hobby. And you know, I've got a big cupboard full of all sorts of stuff, like, you know, Warhammer, even from the first lockdown. You know, just kind of, I accumulate all these things, and I'm not very good at actually completing them. So it kind of becomes almost a source of shame. It's like a cupboard of shame. So there's two things I like most about Stroud, and they sort of link really in the history of the place. There's the nature and the mixture of the nature and the industry. It's kind of Stroud's industrial heritage, but in this really beautiful Five Valleys setting. You know, you never have to go very far to find beauty in the district. And then with that is the people in Stroud. There's such a mix, such a diversity of people that live in Stroud. Again, because of that industrial history and the geography that we have. And it just makes it a really interesting and vibrant place to be. And, you know, lots of like-minded people. You can always have an interesting chat with people. And, you know, people surprise me sort of every day, really.